Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Stincelli with Stincelli Advisors, and I'm a leadership consultant. I'm here today with Beth Strathman, who is a leadership and team coach. And today we want to talk about silos in our organization and some of the pros and cons. So, first of all, people may be asking now, what is a silo? So, a silo is kind of that mentality that I, as an individual, or my department owns information, we own resources, we don't want to share it, even though the organization as a whole could benefit from us sharing this. We're keeping it really kind of close and utilizing it for our benefit. Um, what is your kind of experience with silos, Beth?
Yeah, I would say too that that doesn't necessarily end up being a conscious decision, right? Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just the way you get in the habit of working, and so you kind of just keep to yourself with the people who you interface with most frequently, which tend to be the people who do similar functions. So, for example, the accounting people kind of just keep doing their accounting thing. The HR people, of course, they have to interface throughout the organization, but they have their eye on their HR work, and operations kind of just keeps everything rolling in their area, right? Etc. So you get sort of in a habit of being a little bit myopic about what you're paying attention to. So yeah, um, that's my experience with silos. As a former HR person, I can speak to that. We got really oftentimes involved and focused on good HR practices and what we needed to process employee wise. And sometimes we would lose sight of the fact that we were all working together towards a larger purpose or goal.
And that is a great point. One of the pros, if there's a pro to having silos, is kind of what you're talking about. Say in accounting, we can operate more efficiently, and because we have the information right at our fingertips that we need. We're not we Sometimes it feels like it's a burden to have to try to share information out with a whole organization when we feel like this isn't something they need to know. This is something our department's working with. We're the ones that need this information. So we can make decisions quickly. Of course, it helps protect some proprietary information in some situations. But the issue I see is kind of like we're we're all cogs in this machine, and when all we can see is our little corner of the world, sometimes we don't even understand what this machine is that we're working in. So it prevents us from seeing the big picture, from understanding kind of as a whole, what the company is trying to accomplish. Um, what do you see as some of the cons to having silos in your organization?
Well, in addition to what you're talking about, I think what happens is your customers or clients and other stakeholders lose out. I mean, that's the big con, right? Because um, what you were describing, everybody getting myopic and just not sharing their information, it means that we start thinking that our work must be the focus of our attention. And of course, it should be, but maybe not the primary focus. Maybe the primary focus, the con is that you lose the primary focus on who you're serving ultimately. And so, again, I think those stakeholders lose out in the end.
Great point. Something we should definitely be watching out for, I think.
Yeah, and one thing I'll mention, I think the reason why this comes about, one of the main reasons, I bet you if you looked at it in organizations that are really siloed and not communicating across divisions or departments within the company, if you look at it, look at the senior leadership team. I bet you that senior leadership team doesn't do a lot of work together, right? They don't do collective work. They interface more as a hub and spoke updating group. where they go meet weekly or whatever and they update the CEO on what's happening in their division. But they don't say, okay, we're going to work, marketing and sales are going to work together to figure out this problem, or all of us are going to work together to figure out what's going on and to create something that serves whatever the relevant stakeholders are for that issue.
Great point. Absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. It's still a problem today. I mean, and what organizations do is instead of addressing those relationship issues, which I think it really boils down to is that relationship issue between the different areas, instead of addressing that and setting that as an expectation, organizations start doing structural things, right? How many times have you seen organizations centralize functions, then decentralize functions, then centralize functions, then decentralize functions? I mean, you in the accounting and finance area, me as a former HR person, you know that the discussion was always, should we embed our people into these each division, or should we remain a centralized function? And so I you can do it either way. I don't think that's really the issue. It might facilitate conversations if you decentralize things, but that brings up its own set of problems when you do that. I think really the issue is about what the expectation is for that interdependent work between the divisions.
Absolutely. And your ability to collaborate effectively.
Right. So I would say, um, what else would those of you who are viewing this video, what else would you add to this conversation? Leave a comment for us. Let us know what you're thinking. And we'll put some links in the posts that go along with this video that give you some more information about where you can learn more about what Liz does and what I do. So thanks for watching.